Right then, hello and welcome to Automobilista. Today we're going to have a quick look at one of my own creations. So if you've been following my Twitter, you'll notice back on November 29th, I started posting pictures of some liveries that I was creating. For those who don't know, that away from creating these videos for YouTube, I am a skinner or a livery creator for sim racing games. I have been since 2004, so it's what? 17 years, from anything from NASCAR racing, which is what I actually started on, NASCAR Racing 4 way back in the day, NASCAR Racing 2003, Automobilista, GTR2, iRacing even. Actually, if you've played the Super Touring mod on GTR2, that Fury is the curator of, some of my skins that I've created, the replicas, are actually in that game as well. But anyway, I digress. So for the past month and a half, I've been working on the entire roster of the 2020 Porsche Carrera Cup GB skin set. And I finished a couple of days ago. That is why I haven't posted anything this week, because I've been incredibly busy working on the skins. And I just wanted to get the skin set finished. Yeah, we're going to have just a quick look. I will be posting this as well on Race Department. I've got a couple of people that are testing the skin set for me, because I've made some talent files as well. I wanted to get it as authentic as possible. So yeah, this is the skin set then. Good old Carrera Cup. I got a test skin there. This is what I used to test the liveries to make sure everything was lined up. Because if anyone has painted the boxer template, you know how finicky it is. It's like split into 3 sections. It's bloody awful. But yeah, anyway. So these are the cars that I've worked on since November 29th. It did start out as a one-off for Harry King's championship winning Porsche, which is this one. I just wanted to test myself and see if I could do it, and I did, and I thought, why not? I'll see if I can paint the entire roster. And that is what I have actually done. So, as you can see, everything is as close to authentic as possible. I did have a lot of help, actually. One of the teams, Brookspeed, sent me over 40 gigs worth of reference photos to go through and find logos and this, that, and the other. So they have been priceless in their help, so I can't thank them enough. I've also had a lot of feedback from actual drivers, including Harry King, Ryan Ratcliffe, Team Parker Racing as well. I've had a lot of feedback from. So we'll just quickly go through the ones I've done. There's 20 cars in this pack. There were 23 that did race in 2020, but 3 of those were just guest drivers doing one-off races, so I didn't bother including those. So it's just purely the drivers that competed in the entire championship. So we have Brookspeed, and you have Aaron Mason and Mark Kimber. Their cars are fairly similar. You got number 2 and number 5. The only difference is the sticker on the side there is slightly different between the two, as you can see. So that was they were fairly easy to do, very, very simple. Then we have Fox Motorsport for James Townsend. This one did actually hurt my eyes a little bit because of the brightness, and yeah, it didn't turn out too bad. I had to modify the contour logo a bit. I had to add the stroke effect just to get it to stand out a bit more, because white on neon pink doesn't really stand out too well. But another thing that is wrong with this template as well is that the rear of the car isn't actually completely straight. It goes downwards on the template, so if you try and put a straight line going across, it is actually off on one side. It is really daft. And the left and right side of the car is actually off by about 30 pixels. So yeah, bit of a pain in the arse, but there you go. So that is the only sole entry in Fox Motorsport. Into racing, Ross Wiley and Steve Clark, another driver that I've been speaking to, Ross Wiley. So yeah, that was another very simple paint scheme to do. And Steve Clark, which is not a bad livery. He didn't do the entire series, he only done a few rounds, but I did like the look of this car, so I added it into the roster as well, just to give it an even 20. Yeah, it didn't turn out too bad. Some of the cars, though, I will say, is that they are not 100% identical on a couple of them, because some logos I could not find on Google. I had to rely on Google alone to try and find some of the logos. One in particular was the logo on the back of Esme Hawkey's car, I could not find for the life of me. It's not as bad as some cars that I've painted in the past, though. Anyway, JTR, Lorcan Hannafin. That was a fun car to do. Nice body style and paint scheme. Again, this section here on the rear, where my cursor is, that is split into three. So this section where the rear window is one part. Then you have another part, which is where the JTR logo is, and then this part here. So I had to split the JTR logo in three just to get it all lined up. And sometimes it didn't go according to plan on some cars. As you can see there, that there's a slight little pixel off, but it's not really noticeable. I notice it, of course, because I created these skins, but there you go. And then we have Sam McLeod. This was another fun paint scheme to do. Yeah, I do like this one. Nice, simple design, and not so much in the way of logos. So that was really good. Richardson Racing. This was the last car that I'd done in the entire pack, which I completed a day and a half, 2 days ago. For me, it was one of the hardest to do because I had to individually make all these triangles. Again, if you follow me on Twitter, I posted like hourly updates on how this skin was progressing. But yeah, in the end, it didn't turn out too bad. Maybe the coloration isn't 100%, maybe it's slightly darker, but it doesn't really notice. And again, with this section here, it was a bit of a pain. Another thing as well is that the lines going down the bonnet, because this isn't a Porsche car, this is a fictional car that Reza's put into the game because they didn't have the Porsche license for Automobilista 1, so it's slightly a different body shape compared to the Porsche 991 or the GT3. So it doesn't have this big dip in the bonnet. But again, this was another section that was split completely. So I had to take certain sections of this logo and put them on either side just to try and line them up. I don't think I did too bad of a job on that one. Okay, Simon Green Motorsport. We have Lee Frost and Lucky Kara. Both the cars are identical to one another. The only difference is that one has purple flashes on the front and the mirrors, and the other one has orange. So again, that was just simply get the livery done for one of them and just paste it onto the other car, just change a little thing here and there. So that was easy to do. SRT is a fictional team because it's mine. It's my own car I created. And SRT is Squishy Racing Team, which is the name of my little zebra finch. And that's why I've made a little vector zebra finch there. So yeah, that's my car. It won't be included in the pack, obviously, because it's just a fictional made-up piece of crap car that I've created. Anyway, Team Parker Racing is next. We have Esme Hawkey, one of the more difficult liveries to do because, again, with the car split into sections, getting the lines going across the bonnet and everything was a bit of a challenge, especially the rear part as well. But I got there in the end. I think this one took me... It doesn't look that difficult, but it took me, I think, 14 or 15 hours to do just to line it up. But again, I'm happy with the results. These are names of the backers that helped Esme fund her career. So I added those as well. And all the cars also have the escape hatch, which is mandatory for the Porsche Carrera Cup, as well as these little circles here. They are little attachments, so if the car crashes, a crane can just lift it up from those points. So all the cars, I'll show Harry King's as well. See, I've added the escape hatch on there as well. Tried to add as much authentic detail as possible, including the little electrical symbols there as well. This is the first car, again, I mentioned I started. I spoke to Harry King when I was making this car, because a few logos that I couldn't find, namely this one here, which is, I think, a, what was it? It's a vinyl company, they vinyl cars, but I couldn't find a logo anywhere, even searching for the company name, so I had to just create it from scratch, so there you go. But yeah, this one didn't turn out too bad. I'm actually really happy with how it did turn out. The color was wrong when I first started painting it. It was more like a teal color, or a sky aqua blue color. It was completely wrong. so I had to take a day or so just to get it looking spot on. Next, in Team Parker Racing, Josh Webster. The Team Parker Racing liveries are actually really simple because 3 of the cars, or 4 of the cars, share the same template, or the graphic on the side of the car. If I go through them quickly, just enlarge it. So you have Josh Webster, then you have Justin Armstrong, Justin Sherwood, and then Ryan Ratcliffe. See, they all have the same graphic on the side of the car. The only difference is the logos. So that is, who's that? Justin Armstrong, Justin Sherwood. This was fun to do actually with the coloration. Again though, with the logo on the rear, I had to split it in 2 just to get it to line up properly, but yeah, that one didn't turn out too bad either. Quite happy with that. And last in Team Parker Racing, Ryan Ratcliffe, who I spoke to a couple of days ago regarding this car as well, and I didn't know that he was racing in the Dubai 24 Hours just yesterday. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, that was done. So that was Team Parker Racing. And finally, Team Redline Racing. Dorian Mansilla, he only done a couple of rounds, but he was one of the more regulars in the championship, so I added his car in there. Nice simple design, managed to get that one done fairly easily. John Ferguson. Oh, this car was a pain in the ass to do because it's got a rather unique paint scheme to it, because it's like a bare metal design, but it's got pop rivets all over it. So I really like that. So it made it rather unique, so that took me a while to get it all lined up, especially at the front, which didn't line up 100%, but yeah, I mean, I did my absolute best with these things. You know, I'm not a miracle worker by any stretch, but I tried my best. What I did do as well is with the pop rivets, I added a drop shadow effect, or an emboss effect to it, just so it makes it look like they're standing out or they're embedded into the body, which they actually do look like. So I'm actually quite happy with this, how it turned out. Matthew Graham and Scott McKenna, similar cars as well. This was also a bit of a pain to do, but it was similar to Esme Hawkey's design with the stripes going across, but it did take a little while. It's not 100% lined up, as you can see from the headlights going to the front wing, but I did my absolute best. This one is sponsored by Love Popcorn. Yes, I do, as long as it's salted. And Scott McKenna is sponsored by 81 Power Drink. No idea what kind of drink that entails, but yeah, there you go. Rocket Medical was another one of those logos where I had to split it in 3 just to get it to line up properly. But yeah, I am not, you know, not too bad, if I do say so myself. I worked my ass off. Halfway through, actually, I honestly didn't think I would be able to finish the liveries, because it was such a pain in the ass to do. And I took a couple of weeks off over Christmas and managed to get them finished by yeah, a couple of days ago. I think I finished 4 cars or 5 cars in about 4 days. I really worked my ass off. I hardly slept, and I just worked just to try and get it finished. So when am I going to release the pack is another thing entirely. Like I said, I've got a couple of people who are testing the talent files for me just to make sure that the cars behave as realistically as possible. So there's going to be a bit of fine-tuning from some people and myself as well. And once everything I'm satisfied with, I will then release this pack to Race Department for everyone to download and enjoy at their own will. So yeah, because I don't think anyone's actually made the Porsche Carrera Cup GB set before, so I'm actually really pleased to be the first on Automobilista anyway. There is an Australian one out there somewhere. There is also a mod that I downloaded to add the Michelin tires and the Porsche insignia on the steering wheel. I'm going to include that with the mod as well, because, you know, it just gives it a bit of an extra feel to it. So yeah, there you go. So let's have a little test, shall we, and see how we get on with a 5-minute race around Donington. And yeah, let's see how we get on then, shall we? So here we go then, I've already simulated qualifying. As you can see, it's still a bit all over the place. The talent files, like I said, do need a bit of fine tuning. Because in 2020, there's 3 classes. Or in the Porsche Carrera Cup, there's 3 classes. You got the Pro class, you got the Pro-Am or the Pro-Amateur class, and then you got the Amateur class. So trying to balance those 3 classes in the talent files is a bit tricky. So that's why I've got a couple of people just helping to fine-tune that for me, just to get it as authentic as possible. Because Harry King was champion for 2020, so sometimes he gets pole position, sometimes he doesn't. So I do need to go back, have a look, make some adjustments with the numbers, and fine-tune it from there. But enough waffling on, let's just get on and do this just very, very quick 5-minute sprint. And here we go then. So lights are on, and off we go. Now you can see on the back of Esme's car, there's quite a large empty space on the rear bumper area. That was where one of the logos was supposed to go, but again I couldn't find it, so I just left it blank. I did do a lot of searches on Google for these logos, but sometimes, you know, you come up empty-handed and there's nothing really you can do about it, especially for smaller independent companies. Finding logos is a bit of a struggle. Ooh. Thing about these boxer cars or Porsche wannabes, oh my word. Well, that was Esme Hawkey giving me a damn good elbowing, bloody hell. Well, actually, no, I'm calling shenanigans on that. I'm going to restart that bloody race because, yeah, that was a bit boisterous from Esme. Bloody hell, almost flipped it as well. That is the first time I've actually almost flipped one of these cars. Not easy to do, mind you. Anyway, let's go then. Red flag came out, so we're all starting again. So we got John Ferguson just up ahead, taking the inside line. This time I'm going to stay clear of Esme. That's the thing I hate about these cars is, again, the cold tyres. You get so much understeer at the start of any race, it is hard to get any traction at all. Right, this time we're going to try and dive up the inside of Esme so that she doesn't try and roll the car again. Now, what I'm going to try and do as well is include the British Championship as well in with the series file. Of course, they did travel to Knock Hill in the Championship, but Knock Hill I haven't been able to find, or it's never been made for Automobilista. So it's just going to be a very limited championship with the British courses that are in the game. And people can do a championship at their leisure, really. So I only got 3.5 minutes to go. Oh, no you don't. I think I need to turn down the aggression just a little bit, because I have found that the aggression levels on AMS are very, very ruthless. I mean, the AI treat you as if you don't exist in some areas. So I will have to adjust that with the talent files as well. So I'm lagging behind at the moment. Webster is leading with Harry King second. and Clark in third. You can see the understeer going down the craners. You have to put in so much steering lock just to get around the corner. Well, catching back up though to the little group. Oh, I'm going to get a warning for that yet. Drive-through penalty for track limits. Oh, go away. I ain't doing no drive-through. Get another one now. Yeah, there we go. Another drive-through. Yay! Be like one of the teams on the Dubai 24 Hours. I think they had 18 separate incidents, or warnings, or penalties that they were given throughout the race. One minute remaining. No. Oh, and around we go. And I've stalled the engine, which is great. So yeah, I mean, this is what I've been working on then for, like I said, over a month and a half. What started out as a one-off ended up turning into a massive project. So, like I said, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But that is the fun of skinning. You know, if everything was perfect, it would be rather boring. So, the perfections are in the imperfections, I would say. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the progress. I mean, because some of these, you know, massive projects that people make, they have like a team to work with. It was just me all on my Todd, so there you go. I got one lap to serve the drive-through. Well, you can sod off. Oh, someone's lost their rear wing. That would be Aaron Mason. Yeah, there he is. Car understeering like a son of a bitch. Enter pits to serve penalty. No. I'm gonna rebel. I'm not serving anything, thank you. They'll just have to give me a time penalty at the end, it's fine. So yeah, like I said, if you want to grab this skin set for yourself, I will be posting it on Race Department in a couple of days' time. Once everything's been fine-tuned, so if you do have an account on Race Department, you'll see it pop up in the skin section on the Automobilista subcategory. As around I go again. Oh, can I keep the car going? Yep, just about. I think there's one more lap to go. Yeah, one lap to go. Disqualified! No! Oh well. Not to worry. I don't mind being disqualified. So, yeah, there you go. Like I said, if you want to pick it up yourself, keep an eye out for it. And, yeah, I hope you get some enjoyment out of it. It was a pain to do, and halfway through I did actually want to give up. Because I didn't think I would actually get on and finish it. But, yeah, I'm quite happy that I did. And it's been well received so far from, like I said, Brookspeed and Team Parker Racing, and a handful of the drivers as well. So that has helped give me the motivation to actually get this project finished. So, yeah, there you go then. I will leave it here for now. So, thank you very much for being patient with me while I'm sorting all this out. And normal service should be resumed next week. So, thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, and I will see you next time.